Why he blocked you after the breakup, the truth most women miss. So today, I'm going to break down 3 psychological reasons why he blocked you after the breakup, the worst thing you can do once it happens, and what actually makes a man unblock a woman. Not theories. Not comfort. Reality. Let's get into it. First, you need to understand this. Blocking is not emotional. It's strategic. That single idea changes how you interpret everything. A man blocks you when access to you interferes with the version of the breakup he needs to believe in. After a breakup, men don't process emotions by talking them through. They process them by reducing stimulation. And your messages, your name, your presence, become stimulation. Every time he sees you, it creates cognitive friction. Friction leads to doubt. Doubt leads to emotional exposure. And emotional exposure is exactly what many men are trying to avoid. So he blocks you. Not because you're irrelevant, but because you still register. Reason 1, he blocks you to regain control. When a man blocks a woman after a breakup, it's often a power reset. Men experience breakups as a loss of structure. Even if they initiated it. Access equals leverage. During the relationship, access was mutual. After the breakup, that balance disappears. Blocking reestablishes order. Psychologically, the block says, I decide when you enter my emotional space. And for men, control over emotional exposure is survival level important. This is why men often block after you stay calm, composed, or accepting. If he expected tears, persuasion, or emotional intensity, and didn't get it, the block becomes a way to force closure. It creates finality. But here's the part most women miss. The block only works if you react. The moment you send long messages, reach out through mutual friends, create alternate accounts, ask for explanations or closure, you confirm something dangerous. That access to him matters more than your self-respect. At that point, the block stops being temporary and becomes justified. From his perspective, this is exactly why I needed distance. Chasing doesn't communicate love. It communicates emotional instability. And men, even men who still care, lose attraction when a woman can't regulate herself under emotional pressure. Blocking also protects him from reconsideration. If he keeps you accessible, he risks softening, explaining himself, re-entering emotional negotiation. Blocking removes that risk. And socially, it lets him present the breakup as clean, I blocked her. It's done. That public framing makes reopening communication later psychologically harder. Reason 2, he blocks you because he doesn't trust your restraint. This is the most dangerous reason to be blocked. Because it's not about feelings. It's about predictability. At some point, consciously or not, he decided that distance would not be respected unless enforced. That decision usually builds over time. Moments like continuing emotional conversations after he disengaged, pushing for reassurance when he asked for space, needing immediate clarity while he was overwhelmed, repeated messages after the breakup. Individually, these moments feel understandable. Together, they form a pattern. After the breakup, he no longer feels responsible for managing your emotions. Blocking becomes the cleanest boundary. Women often interpret this as cruelty. It's not. It's preemptive containment. Men do not block women they trust to self-regulate. They block women they believe will push past silence. If he believed you could handle distance with dignity, silence would have been enough. Blocking only happens when silence feels unsafe. Reason 3, you create emotional overload. Men block when their nervous system can't settle. One moment, he feels relief. The next moment, nostalgia. Then guilt. Then attraction. That emotional back and forth is exhausting. After a breakup, men want emotional simplicity, not clarity through conversation. Every time your name appears, a memory surfaces. An emotional contradiction forms. The decision feels unstable again. Blocking isn't about erasing you. It's about reducing emotional input. Here's the mistake many women make: if he still feels something, why wouldn't he want contact? Because conflicting emotions make distance feel safer than closeness. Indifference doesn't require effort. If he felt nothing, you'd fade naturally. Blocking means you still affect him, just not in a way he wants to deal with. What a woman should do after being blocked. This moment is not about him. It's about your emotional authority. Rule 1: do nothing. No messages. No checking in. No closure letters. No explaining yourself. A block is not a challenge. It's a boundary. Bypassing it confirms why it exists. Rule 2: change the internal narrative. Stop asking, why would he do this to me? That makes you powerless. Ask instead, what does this reveal about my emotional discipline? That reframes everything. Rule 3: withdraw without signaling. No sad songs. No cryptic quotes. No emotional post disguised as strength. That's protest, not withdrawal. Real withdrawal is boring and invisible. Rule 4: stabilize your nervous system. Structure beats emotion. Routine. Sleep. Training. Work. Social grounding with people who don't discuss him. Containment restores self-respect. Rule 5: accept without waiting. You move forward as if he will never unblock you. Waiting is attachment. Attachment without control erodes dignity. Orbiting silently is still orbiting. Acceptance means reclaiming your future without reserving emotional space for his return. What actually makes a man unblock a woman? A man unblocks a woman when she stops being a source of emotional pressure. That's it. Not words. Not explanations. Not patience performances. 1. Emotional quiet. Time without emotional noise allows his nervous system to settle. Once settled, curiosity can replace resistance. 2. You stop being a problem. As long as you exist as something you must manage, blocking is useful. When you fade as an issue, the block loses purpose. 3. Is internal shift. Sometimes anger fades. Sometimes guilt fades. Sometimes he just wants to see if you really moved on. None of this is under your control. That's why trying to cause an unblock always backfires. Here's the hardest truth. Men unblock women who no longer need to be unblocked. The real loss isn't the block. The real loss is losing composure, dignity, and direction because of it. Women who rebuild their lives as if the door is permanently closed are the only ones who ever give it a chance to open again. And if it never does, they still win. Hope this gave you clarity, not comfort.